So this was back in August. I just moved to the city and had just started working at a bank. I didn't have the company apparel yet but had a good amount of business clothes, plus I like dressing nice. I was done early that day and downtown was on the train ride home. I figured I'd stop to do some clothes shopping. I was shopping around the store in the business attire section. In my business attire, one could guess why there would be confusion, and this lady, who only spoke Spanish, asked if I spoke Spanish and if I could help her. I said yes and asked what she needed. Spanish lady, ¿sabes dónde están las maletas? Do you know where the suitcases are? Perdón señora, yo no trabajo aquí, pero creo que están en el primer piso. Sorry ma'am, I don't work here but I think they're on the first floor. We both laughed and she commented on how nice my clothes looked. It made me blush a little bit. I'm self-conscious. Then she thanked me for helping her. 20 seconds later, another lady comes up to me in a not-so-nice way demanding I get her another coat with matching pants in such size, asking why we had suits mixed up, and specifically to get her an effing dressing room since she had no idea why we only had two open in the middle of the pandemic. I explained to her that, 1, we're in a pandemic, 2, I don't know shite about suits, I just wear them, 3, I don't effing work here. Mean lady, of course you effing work here, why else would you be dressed like that? Because I like dressing nice, and frankly it's none of your business. ML, well I saw you helping the other lady. Stop lying. Because she was nice, maybe you should try it every once in a while. At this point, one of the actual workers saw what was going on and intervened. We both happened to be in the changing room, different stalls, and she started going off on the phone about how a rude employee refused to help her. When I was done trying on new suits, I went with black this time. She was talking to the manager about me, and exclaimed that short one. When I walked by, the manager was like, "Who TF is that dude?" I just laughed and paid for my clothes. Moral of the story, don't be a Richard and someone might help you, even if they don't work there. Edit, OMG. My first award. Thanks stranger. By the way, do you work here? Edit 2, thank you for the award everyone. I'll remember this next time I'm at the suit store. Edit, to add I wasn't fired. Hey guys, recently found this sub, love the stories, and figured I'd contribute my encounter from earlier this year. And I will apologize now for the length and I'll post a TLDR at the bottom. Little information heading into this. I work in the auto industry, dealership parts department to be exact. This means I have a uniform, which is slacks, shoes, and a polo shirt and jacket in the automaker's colors with their name embroidered on the left chest. At the time of this incident I worked for an auto manufacturer whose logo is a big T in an oval. The internal name is the sombrero. This meant my polo shirt was black with red sides and a huge red logo along with the dealer's name on it. So, here we go. Back in March, I'd just gotten off my late shift. The dealer I was with at the time was open till 7. On the way home I stopped at Big Mart that used to use a smiley logo, where employees wear blue vests, to get some groceries for dinner along with flowers for my dad and stuff to make a cake for my mom's birthday. A lot of significant dates happen in the first 2 weeks of March for our family. When I go shopping, I usually put in my Bluetooth earbuds as I don't want to talk to people, and it helps deter those annoying cable/internet/power salespeople that roam the aisles of this store trying to sell you their crap. My headphones at the time were a pair of Adidas A-Star by Monster. They were Bluetooth with a cord between the two and a little inline controller on the right side. This is relevant later. Now I'm in the store. It's about 7:25 p.m., and I've got my earbuds in. I'm in the baking aisle looking for caster sugar, our Mart of Walls does carry it, and I notice someone off to my right. I don't think anything of it, it's a steady evening for them, this location is always busy. I finally settle on some sugar and go to reach for it when I feel a sharp pain in my ears, followed by someone yelling at me. I turn and yell what the H/L and I'm face to face with a woman maybe 40-ish. About my height, 5'10". She's dressed quite smartly, high-heel boots, leggings, an expensive-looking coat, shoulder-length hair, earrings that look painfully heavy, yelling at me and holding my headphones. She had grabbed the controller and yanked them out as I couldn't hear her talking at me. She starts telling me off that it's very unprofessional for me to be wearing headphones while working, how dare I talk to her like that, and that she's been trying to get my attention as she needs me to fetch her something. I snap back that I don't work and demand my earbuds back. She responds that I obviously do from how I'm dressed and that I'm just lazy, then looks at my headphones in her hand with a smirk and says you won't be needing these, proceeds to throw them on the ground and start stomping on them. I'm furious and start shouting at her. WTF makes her think I work here and proceed to point at the logo on my shirt and call her a moron. At this point a crowd has started to gather at either end of the aisle to see what all the commotion is. I guess an employee had heard something and called a manager or security, as someone in a white business shirt with a company lanyard around their neck comes down the aisle to break us up and see what is happening. She immediately starts going off at him about how lazy and unprofessional his employees are, and how she wants to talk to corporate. He turns to me and starts to ask why I was ignoring her and wouldn't help her. When he notices my shirt. "You don't work here, do you?" as he's staring at me. "No, I work at, insert dealer name, up the road. I'm just here to pick up a few things and this psycho attacked me." He apologizes and asks me if she hurt me, and I responded just my ears when she yanked the earbuds out and then stomped them. She starts snarling that I'm lying, I'm a boss, and I need to be fired. He turns to her, picks my headphones up and tells her that he does not approve of violence in his store and that authorities are already on their way. Police station is 1.5 miles from the store. He asks me to check my headphones to see if they work. Shocker, they don't. When she yanked the controller it must have damaged the wires, as the right one cuts in and out. I say as much. We've now been escorted to the front of the store by customer service, and sure enough 2 officers are standing by the counter. They took statements from both of us, her flailing her arms about as she gave hers. One of the officers then went with the store manager to review the cameras. The entire time we were waiting with the officer she keeps mouthing off how I'm gonna get in so much trouble when she's proven right and innocent, and that she hopes that lead me off in cuffs. The officer with us just told her to be quiet till they were done. The manager and officer come back out after a few minutes and the officer asks, "Would you like to press charges?" She starts going, "Yes, please officer, I don't want someone like this out in public." His response: "I was actually talking to him," while gesturing to me. I say yes I would as my ears still hurt and she broke my earbuds. She's spluttering and coughing like my little classic car on a cold morning, whining that she's the victim. They ask me if I can verify the amount the headphones cost when I bought them new as she'll be required to reimburse me. Thank you Big Blue Electronics Store for online account purchases. In the end she had to give me the $100 the earbuds had cost me new, which went towards my new Clips McLaren Edition T5 earbuds, and they escorted her out of the store. They gave me the flowers for my father's gravesite and a cake for my mom's birthday as an apology. It didn't end there though. She called the dealer I work at, because their name was embroidered on my shirt, to complain about me and the trouble I caused her. They called me into the owner's office to tell me that I caused a lot of drama over nothing and it makes the dealer look bad and basically to not do it again. I wasn't fired, but that dealer was a terrible place to work. Stories for other Reddit subs I haven't yet discovered. I quit about 5 months later, and I've since changed dealerships to the Big Blue Oval. And #X200B. TL_Dr. Go to store after work in clearly marked work uniform. Lady grabs earbuds out of my ears, yells at me and plays victim. Police show up, she's found at fault, has to pay for broken headphones. Then calls my actual employer to complain about the trouble I've caused her, and they tell me off. When my husband and I first moved in together, we were renting a house that had been a State Farm insurance office. It was an old house that had been converted to an office then back to a house. The landlord also ran a used car lot and the office for it on the back porch. Numerous times I'd be in bed asleep, I was working third shift at the time, and people would just walk in wanting to talk to the insurance guy or ask about a car. It was a really small town and no one locked doors, but after 2 or 3 of these people walking in I started locking the screen door on the front porch and the front door itself. People still came in. One guy even said hey the doors are stuck as was walking in. Then he saw me and asked about insurance. I was in my PJs watching a movie. It must have been a casual Friday, I guess. So he had forced the doors open. I've never been that greatly in need of insurance to break into a building for it, lol. I finally talked to my cousin. She had dated the insurance guy's son and I guess they finally sent out a notice to their customers of the address change. So I work at a coffee shop, and one day I was sitting in the shop working on my homework off the clock. I just needed to be not home. A regular, let's call her Kathy, came directly up to me while I was sitting down out of the way eating my food and studying, and explained that I placed an order for Kathy over the phone and I need it now. I take a minute and look around before I tell her I'm sorry, I'm not actually working at the moment, but I'm positive one of the workers will be more than happy to help you, provided you ask them at the counter. This was apparently not the answer Kathy was seeking. She loudly announced as I was so rude to not help her she wanted my name and my current shift lead's name to call the manager. When the shift lead hears what's going on, she tries to help her and explain that I am not working that day. All well as running around getting her order together, but Kathy's experience was ruined. She wants a refund and to take the drinks, and when that's not possible, she wants me to pay for emotional compensation. I politely told her no way in hell, and left. She called the store for WEEKS because an employee was rude to her and she expected me to be fired.